Damn, Ingenious made the beat?
Yo, family. Welcome to another episode of the Coach Life Podcast, the brand that's about building your brand. I am your host, the casual one, your positivity partner, Coach Steve. Join with me as always, my co-pilot, the professor, Coach Ryan. How we doing, sir?
I guess to continue with the alliteration, I'll be Professor Positivity. Is that how we going? You
Oh,
know?
I love it, bro. I love it.
Hey.
Your positivity partners for the day.
Right? Oh yeah.
How's the week been, bro?
The week has been pretty good. Off to a good start. Morning. You know what? I got to sleep in this morning, but I really have to say how sleeping in worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I usually wake up at 3 a.m. This morning I was able to sleep to 5:45. So for me, that's sleeping in. So
for the normal people that have a regular 9 to 5.
So for me, it was a great start because I got to sleep in. So
that's fantastic, bro. I'm glad that you got a chance to sleep in and get a little bit of that beauty rest, bro. I did wake up at 5 this morning.
Okay.
You know, and got to work like a normal person at 7. Oh man, but you know what? That's actually a really, really, really good segue. Last week, you took the coach's corner for our quote of the day. I am going to take our coach's corner today.
Oh yeah.
I saw this, bro, and I was like, I gotta say this, bro. Like,
yeah.
If this isn't like synonymous to like, look at your top 5 people right now.
Mm-hmm.
You are who you know.
Yeah.
You are a direct reflection of the top 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Wow. Man, that says a lot.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I want you to think of your top 5 people. And I'm like, let's go back to what we just talked about a few minutes ago, like waking up early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like getting up early to go get the job done. Like most people probably heard what we just said on this and like 3 a.m. getting up at 3 a.m. Like you nuts.
Yeah.
Like some people just going to bed around that time. You know what I'm saying? So we getting our day started around that time. Again, that's just kind of the routine, right?
Yeah.
It's something about putting in the work that you have to be disciplined to continue to do that, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's the key word you just said is discipline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you elaborate on what it takes to maintain a level of discipline to accomplish anything, any task? What does it require?
It requires a decision on your part. And I believe, I think I heard Inky Johnson mention this. He's like, you got to do what you said you're going to do, even when you don't feel like how you said it. You have to do what you said you were going to do, even when the feeling is gone from how you said it. Because, when we first start something, we're hyped up, we're motivated. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm going to eat like this. And when that feeling leaves, sometimes that commitment and that discipline leaves too. So it's like you got to continue to respond to the decision that you made, even when you don't feel like it anymore. So it's a commitment to the process on good days, bad days. It's almost like you just have to
trust the process.
Trust the process completely. You have to. Like, man, it's not looking like what I thought it's going to look like. trust the process. Like nothing is immediate. You know, it's not going to be immediate results, and especially where I'm at when it comes to health and fitness and bodybuilding and stuff like that. The shortest amount of time it took me to get ready for a competition was like 14 weeks.
That's not a short time.
Exactly. Exactly. And each of those weeks it's a grind, man. And it's like I don't look like I'm not ready for the stage. No, because you're 14 weeks out. But the closer you get to that time, the more you're putting in the work, the more you're gonna look like what you need to if you trust the process. But if you come in too anxious, you get discouraged when you don't see what you want to see. If you come in not focused enough, you're gonna throw yourself off and not get to where you're trying to go. So man, it's about being able to see where you're trying to go, but trust every step along the way and not try to take too big a step, not try to take too small a step, not look at the other person's steps who might be next to you. Because once you start comparing yourself to people,
man,
it's a wrap.
That's a trap.
Yeah, that's a trap.
That's a trap right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you gave me an amazing oop. I feel like, again, man, we like, I appreciate the oops, bro.
Yeah.
But you lead us to the topic for pod number 3, and that is putting in the work.
Yeah.
How much work are you really willing to put in? You alluded to this a few minutes ago, and you said that a lot of times people are really, really anxious and excited about stuff in the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people forget to really put in perspective what you're asking for. And what it's going to take to really get what you're asking for.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be aware again of what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. There's a few different ways you can get from New York to California.
Yep.
None of them are quick.
No.
And if you anticipate getting there overnight, it's possible. It's just going to take a lot.
Yep.
If you got the money to get a jet, cool. But if you're talking about driving, or if you're talking about a train or something like that, it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a lot of miles. And a lot of people are excited about the idea of getting to the destination without thinking about everything in between.
That's so true. So true. And the funny part about that is when you talk about that road getting to the end of the road, right? Getting to that line. A lot of people, like you said, they don't know how to keep their blinders on and stay focused on the actual goal. Because what do? They focus on what they can't control.
Yeah. Oh man. And that's a immediate setup for disappointment. That's an immediate setup for you to lose focus, for you to lose drive. Because there's so many factors that we can't control on a day-to-day basis. I can't control anybody around me.
Right.
Sometimes I can barely control myself, so let alone controlling anybody around me. So when you allow other people to push you to certain extents based on their actions, you have to pull yourself back. Like, I can't control what this person says, does, or whatever. I can't control the weather. I can't control a lot of factors. And the more we trouble ourselves and burden ourselves with things out of our control, the more it just takes our focus away.
I'm going to take you. Well, it's that time again. Who's ready for story time? So I'm gonna tell you, there's something my dad says on a regular basis. And I'm really, I really love this about my dad.
Yeah.
But it's also something that I feel like that I have to have a very healthy balance with.
Yeah.
But my dad says all the time, this ain't mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's at work, he's like, none of this is mine.
Yeah.
So I can't do anything with this stuff here. I
Mm-hmm.
can only control what I can control here and
Mm.
what I'm doing. That's it. Once
Yeah.
I leave out this building, it's there. It's
Yeah.
it's gotta stay there.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest things with a lot of people is that we tend to, like you said, we tend to focus on all of the stuff, all the shiny parts,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really nice to know that we're gonna get to this end of the rainbow, right? Because
Yeah.
what's at the end of the rainbow? Pot of gold, right?
I was
But
gonna say Lucky Charms, but okay.
yeah, I feel you. Same thing. But exactly at the end of the rainbow, there's a prize, right? There's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
hopefully that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you really willing to put in sacrifice? Because that's another one. Is what are
Yeah.
you willing to sacrifice to get to that point?
Mm.
I want to take us, and I hope you mind. You hope you don't mind us, kind of pivoting on this,
Not
because
at all.
kind of go throw this back to you. Um, for most people that don't know, Coach Ryan, the professor, Superman himself, Black Superman. Um, Ryan is a bodybuilder right now, a professional weightlifter, professional fitness, everything at this point.
I would say amateur.
Yeah,
I'm a
sure. We'll still say professional, okay? You call it whatever you want to call it. I call a spade a spade. But Ryan is on this journey right now and has done an amazing job of transforming, his mind, body, and spirit doing this journey. And the dedication that it takes to do and transform what you did, I don't really think people give a lot of credit or really understand what it takes to do it. So I kind of alluded to this earlier when I was talking about what kind of dedication does it take to get to that point.
mm-hmm.
Take us through really quick, just an idea. You said 14 weeks is a short amount of time, right? Give me an idea of what a day would look like when you were heavy in training and dedicated to the process.
Okay. I gave you all my start time for the day, and this is a major reason why. I have to be at work at 8:30. Most days, 8:30. I take the train to work, save on traffic and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
in order for me to get my full workout in, cardio and clean up, shower, all that, um, I scaled out that I need to start my day at 3 o'clock. One, because working out after work isn't the best thing for me to do, just energy wise, time wise. Sometimes the gym is a little more crowded. After work, I get off work at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I get back home around 6. Also, I don't want to spend my whole day gone. I wake up, go to work, then come home and go to the gym or something. I don't want my whole day taken up. So
Mhm.
I prioritize to get my day started early, to sacrifice a little bit of sleep, get my day started early. That way I can, see things through the way I need to. So I get up at 3 o'clock. Well, I'll say it like this. I pack my gym bag at 9 o'clock at night or whenever the previous night.
Mhm.
I put all my food, I box all my food up because I meal prep. So I have all my food containers lined up, ready to go. Have my gym bag ready to go, my food bag ready to go. So that's done the night before. Go to sleep, hopefully around 9:30. Wake up at 3 o'clock. Get ready real quick. I'm out the house usually by 3:15. Everything's packed up already, so I just grab and go. Get my pre-workout. Get a little water, something like that to take with me. Have my water in the car. Get to the gym. Workout. Workout's usually about an hour 10 minutes. Knock all that out. Maybe do a little bit of posing afterwards. So I got the pump going. A little tired. Get a little posing in. 10-15 minutes. Depending on where I am in the contest prep,
Mhm.
that depends on how much cardio I do. So starting out, we usually start out about 30, 35, 40 minutes. By the time I get to a couple weeks out of the show, I'm
Mhm.
up to about 60 or 70 minutes of cardio every day.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So again, 3 o'clock start. Out the house by 3:15. Make it to the gym by 3:30. Work out for an hour, 10 minutes, maybe pose for another 15. So that's an hour and a half of workout and posing, 30 to 40 minutes of cardio, 30-minute shower, clean up, get to the train in to work from 8 to 4, come back home. In between, I've got my food with me. So I'm eating every 3 hours throughout the day, whether it's my post-workout snack, whether it's my lunch, 1 or 2, my midday snacks, my dinner. I've got all my food lined up. So there's no need to eat outside of my meal plan. I'm not supposed to, especially doing contest prep.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't cook it, I can't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
All your food is prepared because you need to know all your macros. You need to know all the oils and seasonings and everything is. I put all my food on the scale. I season my food well, but I also make sure I'm getting a gallon of water in, plus taking multivitamins, getting enough adequate sleep, because sleep is the best type of recovery. So I'll go through the day, do all that, come home, decompress a little bit, stack all my meals up for the next day, make sure I get my last meal in, relax, and rinse and repeat.
Hit the reset button.
Hit the reset button. So that is the daily schedule, Monday through Saturday. I think Sunday I get one rest day doing competition prep. So Sundays I usually rest. But again, it's still eating on plan every 3 hours. No deviations, no cheats, unless my coach prescribes it. Early on, I might get a couple cheats in those first couple weeks, but after a certain point, it's completely cooked meals on meal plan. Yeah, so it's like I envision myself on stage, but it's like starting out, every decision that I make has to equal that vision that I have of being on stage, because one misstep, 2 missteps, 3 missteps can completely derail that vision, that goal that I'm trying to accomplish. So my biggest thing, my mantra, my takeaway is like, I start out with so much motivation, but motivation has to push you to create discipline.
Man, is man, can you say it in the back? Can you flip term?
Use the motivation to create discipline. You're going to be motivated when you start something new, when you start something fresh. But after a while, the motivation is going to be gone. And
Yeah,
after motivation fades, discipline has to kick in.
has to take over,
It
bro.
has to take over.
That's the crazy part. You made again, you made a great segue. Embracing your failure and applying what you learn. Like, again, that's all about trusting the process, right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
understand what the process is, we should have named this episode "Trust the Process."
I mean,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is, man. Because
absolutely, absolutely.
I feel like as we are semi sort of perfectionists,
Mm-hmm.
failure is not something that we prescribe to,
No,
but it can be so beneficial if used properly.
it's so powerful, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
This this is now, again, we giving gems right now, because we definitely gonna use this as another pod, because
yeah,
we
yeah.
definitely gonna talk about a pod called "The Lessons and the Loss."
Mm.
Um, but you're 100% right, man. There, if used correctly,
Mm-hmm.
a loss could be so valuable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a loss isn't. Oh man, I don't even know how to say it. But some people are so afraid of loss that they're like, no, I never lose. I only got a lesson. Yeah, it's a lesson, but you lost too. Like,
Right.
don't be afraid to take the
Take
L
the L.
as
Right.
long as you come back from it.
Right.
You know, take the loss, regroup, learn, take your lesson, and then come back, because that's what happened. It's not an ultimate defeat. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, this round I might have lost.
Right.
Okay, I'll accept that. I'm not going to avoid it. I'm not going to allow that to, you know, make me sit on the sideline now because I don't want to lose anymore. I don't want to fail. You just
That
regroup.
this is gonna break me now because I lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in the whole process, the one other thing that that's also missing. I mean, and we can go off this tree and branch off this tree like with so many different areas, but um, to kind of circle us back to close the circle,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's just enjoying the process first.
Yeah.
I think people
Yeah.
forget that part. Like,
Mm-hmm.
understand that it's going to require work, but in the work, enjoy the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process that you're going through, because
Mm-hmm.
eventually you're going to look back on this and you're going to be like, man, it wasn't as bad as I actually thought it was, because
Yeah.
that point you probably be tackling a bigger issue or a bigger problem, a bigger thing. Like,
Yeah.
let's how many times, and you probably, again, let's think about this, and as adolescents, like, just making mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you made a mistake, and you look back on that mistake, or I'm sorry, not even made a mistake, just how many times have you uh had a problem or issue or something that you were trying to encounter, or
Mm-hmm.
trying to tackle, and you got through it, and then you got into another problem, and then you were like, man, do you think about it in retrospect,
Yeah.
that problem that I had before really wasn't as big as I made it out to be.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not,
This
man.
is much bigger.
And you bring some momentum with you each round. You pick up a little sting. You're like, all right, if I did that last time, I can do something next time. I can do this next thing. I can, keep this ball rolling, even if it is a setback. Like, you know what? I'm gonna use that to keep pushing forward.
Hmm.
Like, you got to keep the momentum going.
I think it's all, and I want to kind of circle back to what you said again too about the discipline, and
Mm-hmm.
and how you prepped for your competitions.
Yeah.
Like, you had to build discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You said you saw yourself on the stage. You saw the end goal. You saw the result. How do we get to the result? Now, obviously, every day is going to be tough. Getting up that early in the morning. Like, how many people? And you said this before too. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about this at the very beginning of the pod.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. Like, how many
Mm-hmm.
people are willing to sacrifice their sleep
Man.
for something that they want?
Yeah. Not many. Not many. Hey, I wasn't too hot on it at first. It took me a good minute to get adjusted to it, but my decisions had to line up with what I said I wanted to do. You know,
Bro. Yeah.
nobody forced me into this thing. I made a conscious decision to go down this bodybuilding route. So now my decisions have to line up to that.
And if it doesn't,
If it doesn't, then I'm in the wrong thing.
exactly. It's gonna fail, right?
Right, right. But it's like now, once you're starting to calculate things, you start to calculate what effort you need to put in, what decisions you need to make. You have to calculate some of the sacrifices that it's going to take. So my first go round, I wasn't as prepared for the sacrifices that were needed. I didn't
Mm,
realize that, I probably shouldn't be going to every birthday party and family reunion and, this, that, and the other. Why? Because people cook and everything.
yep.
And at that point, I was still struggling with, oh man, I can have a little bit of this, or, it's chicken. I didn't make it, but
Right.
it's only chicken. Why can't I have this? Or, so understanding the next go round, look, I love people. I love parties. I love this, that, and the other. But during my prep, if I'm not strong enough to refrain from partaking in that stuff, then I just can't go.
True. True.
So my motivation kept me on target to get where I wanted to go. And then by my fourth show, I was going to everything. I just brought my meals with me.
There you go.
So
Exactly.
I used the motivation to then create discipline to now it's not a problem. I'm not tempted to eat this stuff that's not on my meal plan because my discipline has grown to such a great degree.
And that requires putting the work in to get to that point.
Yeah.
Again, how much work are you willing to put in? I think that's what I think a lot of people need to start answering for themselves when they start looking at what they want out of life, just in general.
Yeah.
But like when we start talking about what your life looks like or what you want your life to look like, what work are you really putting in? And be real honest with yourself, because a lot of people just say, yeah, I'm putting work in, like I'm getting up and I'm going to work every day. Like, yeah, you going to work every day, but everybody at your job hates you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I mean, it's probably because again, you're just not being positive about everything.
Yeah.
Like you're not accomplishing the bigger goal because you're so focused in your little box.
Absolutely, man. And it's so much to that. It's so much to it. I wish that people could look at people that they're inspired by, or people that they, be like, oh man, I want to be like this person. I want to be like that person. I wish that they could get an inside look at the work this person puts in.
Bro,
you put the final product on IG and Twitter and TikTok. You see the finished products, but you don't see the work that this person has put in. You just seeing the results. So now you're like, I want them results too, and you have no idea what it takes to get those results.
Bro, so this is a great segue. Like again, man, it's you out here Gary Payton right now. you out here getting it, man. So this is a great segue because again, you said I wish that people can see the work that it takes for the people that they look up to and that they admire, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
We have a surprise on the pod. Look at this.
Hey.
The CEO, founder of Coach Life brand, Coach Watson. How we doing, boss?
Yo, man, we good. Good energy right now. It's crazy. Y'all talk about fitness. I'm actually on my second go around and doing 75 hard right now. So yeah, this is day 8, and it is a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Day 8 on 75 hard.
Yes, and this is my second time doing it. I successfully completed it last year.
Dope.
And you talk about challenging yourself. I started midsummer having like 2 vacations lined up during the time frame of the challenge. So for those who are not aware, you have to get 2 workouts in per day at minimum of 45 minutes each. One has to be outside. It has to be outside, whether it's not a scapegoat. So I literally had to, like, I would plan, check the weather and be like, okay, I got to do the outdoor in the morning, or I got to do outdoor in the evening. If it was raining, I'm in Houston. So, when rain come, it come. But like there were days I had to run 45 minutes in the rain. I ran in a storm once.
My goodness.
Yeah. I was gonna get it done. You can't drink for the entire 75 days. So one of those trips was a trip to Florida for a wedding. So you had to get 2 workouts in, no drinking. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, a minimum of 10 pages. You can read more, but a minimum of 10 each day. You got to drink a gallon of water at least each day. And then you also have to take a progress picture every day. If you miss anything on that checklist, you start over.
Hit the reset button.
Wow. So it's serious business. I read so much about it. My partner, I do it with my lady. Like, read about like people getting to like day 65, 67, or
Ooh.
I even read about somebody losing it on 74.
No.
So like
I'm not gonna sleep that day. We're gonna make them
We
hours
gonna
up,
make
bro.
it.
yeah, absolutely. Man, I'm telling you, it's been times where like I think I had took a walk outside at like 10 p.m. because the day was so packed and I had to get the outdoor workout in.
Yeah.
So I'm out with the dog and yeah, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Man, again, how much work are you willing to put in? It seems like it's very easy to get a goal that you want and say this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Until you really start breaking everything down.
Absolutely.
So, since everybody got a chance to drop a story, I'll drop a story.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
So, example of when you want something and you have the initiative to go and get it, just like just like Coach Ryan with bodybuilding, and just like Coach Washington with the 75 hard, or the 75, I'm sorry, the 150 hard that he was trying to do. But the house I'm in right now, I mean, it's not a big house. Both of you guys have been in my house before. Like I said, it's not a big house, but I'm proud of it because of the story to getting to the house. And here is a story really quick. In a nutshell, when we were trying to get this house, I had to get a pretty significant down payment because at the time my credit wasn't that great. So again, trying to make ends meet, and then I have a little one at home. I got my wife, and we staying at my mother-in-law's. And at the time, I was coaching St. Joseph High School in Westchester. I was coaching high school football. I would get up, much like Coach Ryan. I would get up at 3 a.m. To make it to the gym in Westchester. And I would drive from Harvey to Westchester.
Whew.
So we talking about a good
45
minutes or so, roughly. I would take that ride at 3 a.m. to get to the gym by 4. I would work out from 4 to 5. The kids would get there around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. The true football players that really wanted to play football would get there early and be there, to lift. So those guys would come in and do their lift. We would lift with them until about 5:30. I would go take a shower really quick. If I couldn't take it there, luckily my mom lived not too far away from high school, so I got a chance to go there, take a shower there, then drive from Westchester to Burr Ridge, which is like about another 30 minutes, which again, not a bad drive. Try to get there by 8 o'clock, which more times than not, I would be there by like 7:30ish or so, 7:30. Work until about 4, leave there, go back to Joe's and coach there until about 7, 8 o'clock at night. Drive back to Harvey because we were staying out south at the time, and was building the room that we were staying in at the time. So I had to rebuild the floor, paint the walls, take all the stucco off take the paneling off the wall and everything. Pretty much redid the entire room. All while I was I wasn't trying to drop these jobs. And if anybody knows anything about coaching, you get a pretty decent stipend. Some places you get pretty decent stipends. Other places you don't get that big of a stipend. So I was doing all of this to make all that extra money to make sure that I bought the house that I'm currently in right now. So the grind that it took and the lack of sleep was like, bro, I'll sleep in the car. I'll take my hour break at lunch, and that'll be sleep. You know, I'll eat something real quick and then go to sleep in the car really quick for the quick 30 minutes. You know, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
But what kind of work ethic and what kind of mindset you have to go get what you wanted? Like, I knew what it was going to take to get what I wanted.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I got to do this.
Man. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
It is. And you know, the crazy part is,
Mm-hmm.
to some people that may not be a lot, to some people that may be too much. It's all in perspective.
It is.
But the end of the day, I think the lesson that everybody needs to understand is that you need to put the work in.
Yeah.
And even when you put the work in, it may not necessarily be as easy as you think it's going to be until you really get in it.
Yeah.
Just be prepared that you're going to have to work a little bit harder. And then when you work a little bit harder, you might have to work a little bit harder than that to get to where else you want to get to. Like, again, I think that's what handicaps a lot of people, is that, like, they see the finish line and they feel like that's the finish. And again, you got to understand that, like, your work ethic, that finish line is like a page in a book.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you guys this question. Where do we stand on the concept of grind all day, every day, 24/7, I'll rest when I'm dead type of mentality? Is that where we're at? Or is it like you know what, I'm gonna grind as much as I need to, but I'm gonna also know how to sit back when I need to?
I'm gonna say, I think it is what you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually can handle.
Yeah.
If you can't handle that kind of a grind,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't the grind for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example, bro. I'm not a weightlifter. Both of you guys know this. Like, I am not the guy that's going to be clanging and banging all day long. Now, will I go in and go do some calisthenics and go get some, get a little light lift in? Yeah, sure. Why not? But this is not an everyday occurrence, bro. I'm not doing this. But the dedication, I understand the dedication that it takes to get to that point. And I think, because I know what it takes to get to that point, if I know my mindset, if I say that I'm going to do that, that's done.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Yeah. Period. But I think I know. I think I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to look like a superhero.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to look fit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm fit enough. But I digress. I think it goes back to how much are you capable of maintaining physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If you're able to handle that amount,
yeah,
fantastic. If not, you just need to be honest with yourself. And I think that's the important part.
That's good.
You got to be honest with yourself to say, yeah, I'm not that guy. I don't have that kind of discipline to get up at 3 a.m. to do a workout. So I'm just going to have to take the L and work, and, after work, and, with a full gym, and, take in the hours. It's supposed to be an hour workout. Now it's a 2-hour workout. But I got to do this because that's the sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's required to do it.
Yeah. I bring that up because I know that there's people on both sides who are like, you know what, I'm working 4 jobs. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, run all day. And then there are other people who are like, I ain't doing none of that. I'm going to just pray and see what comes my way. And, hopefully everything turns out well. But I think somewhere being able to, again, understand what you're capable of, what you can handle, and then also being in tune with your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions. Like, hey, look, I've put some good work in because it was needed in this season. I have to put in the extra grind right now. But hey, if my body is telling me, like, dude, you might need to go sit down for a little bit. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna do that because I'd rather make that decision than me overworking myself and now the doctor's telling me to sit down. or I wake up passed out somewhere, or so I think knowing when to push it, how to push it for that amount of time, and then also being like, you know what, a great part of my grind is my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
My mental health is telling me to rest today.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, again, when you said, you hit the nail on the head when you said your mental, right?
Yeah.
When you start talking about your mental, and again, I think that's something that a lot of us take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't understand our mental as much as we say we do.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to what we said earlier.
That part.
That, right?
Man.
It's being honest with yourself, right? Like, really being honest.
But you know what, bro? Even with that, I think you can be honest with yourself, but then there's also self-ignorance, what I call it. You may not even know yourself.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. You're still figuring it out.
Yeah, so you can be honest with yourself as far as what you know. A lot of people still figuring things out. You still operating in supposed tos and what you've been brought up to do, and you haven't really figured out who you are as an individual. So you may be operating on a program mode. You haven't woken up from the matrix yet for yourself. And I think even with what y'all talking about, like I think about some guys that be like, yeah, I sleep when I dead, woo woo. But the truth of the matter is, you see successful people like that, but we don't know what parts they missing between the mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
We don't get to see all that. We only see, okay, they made a lot of money, that this company is running, or they've done this, but we don't consider the fact that, like, a lot of people that have mental issues, suicide rates and stuff are higher in people that are wealthy. A homeless person is less likely to kill themselves than somebody with money.
They trying to make it, bro.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? There is something missing. Yeah, they have all this stuff that we've been trained and programmed to go after. But, like, what do you want? What does that consist of for you? Like, a lot of people complete stuff and they'll go, 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 and they still empty.
Yeah.
So you gotta know, you gotta figure out what does it look like for you. Like, I used to think like that, but now I was like, man, there has to be a cutoff.
It has to be.
There has to be a cutoff. You have to rest. And even Ryan, knowing with lifting, like, you probably noticed that you get the most gain and the most refreshing feeling when you rest, not when you push too much.
Absolutely.
You need the rest.
Absolutely.
Give your body time to recharge. Like, your mind needs to rest. Like, spiritually, you need to rest. Like, so many, as I mentioned, like, in the world of coaching, you see it a lot where people are exhausted, they don't stop, and other things suffer in their life. That's why you see so much divorce and stuff like that in the coach life, or kids not getting time with their fathers. Like, you with other people kids more than your own kids.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not the coach life, like the pod, right? What should we clarify?
But the coach,
I take care
life.
of my kids.
In the life of a coach.
But you know what it was, bro. You just broke it down.
Yeah,
Your story itself. You were coaching, you were juggling multiple things aside from coaching.
Absolutely.
And then there's some capacities, like the hours that you put into multiple things. Some people are putting those same hours in to coaching alone. Whatever it may be, there has to be balance. I don't think you can move on the whole I sleep when I dead. I kind of look at that the same way people were using YOLO. It was misused. It's misused. Like, you only live once don't mean, like, cut it short. That's
right,
not exactly. You only live once don't mean let's go do something stupid. Cause I think it's
Let's drive with no
cool.
seatbelt
No.
and
Yeah,
drinking in the car.
yeah. And let's not cut ourselves short,
Right.
with the whole YOLO, but like try to maximize the time that you got for the better
Yeah.
of yourself and the people around you.
Absolutely, man. But Lloyd mentioned it, and it ties in too with about sacrificing. Some people sacrifice, but it's to a detriment. Like you
Hmm.
sacrificing your family, you sacrificing relationships, you sacrificing your mental health, you sacrificing your health, period, your physical health. Those sacrifices, it's not worth it when you look at it from that angle.
So so you pose a really good question, sir. So when people talk about sacrifice, what do we mean sacrifice? Let's actually break down some sacrifice. I'm gonna start. Let's go around the horn really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to start, and I'll give you guys a perfect example of some sacrifice. Maybe let's not get a PlayStation 5. Maybe let's spend that time or that money on getting our car fixed so that we can get to work on time.
Mm.
Maybe let's not stay up all night long playing video games when we know we got to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of having this 16th piece of pizza, we probably should just, maybe have a chicken Caesar salad. Something a little lighter.
Yeah.
That's what we mean, like the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like the stuff is bad, but you kind of still do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. You know why? Because most people want to sacrifice stuff they want to give up stuff, but they don't want to sacrifice, and they think it's the same.
Oh, can you explain that?
So
then before you explain that,
yeah,
can you say that for the people in the back?
You want to give up stuff, but that's not a sacrifice. So me saying like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give up oatmeal cookies. I don't like oatmeal cookies. That's not a sacrifice. Technically, I'm giving up something.
Right.
But it's not costing me nothing because I don't like them anyway.
So like everybody's favorite outing of Lent, when they say for Lent, I'm going to give up this. Yeah, I'm going to give up candy for Lent. But yeah, you don't eat candy.
You don't eat candy like that. It's not a sacrifice. So you have to give up. You have to be willing to, again, give up something that you ordinarily would participate in.
I did the reverse for Lent before. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I did the reverse of giving up before. I would say give up your laziness. How about that? So one time we used to have office Lent in one of the coach's office I was in, and then they said, "What you gonna do, Wash?" Every coach did something. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna run 3 miles a day."
Wow.
It was like, what? I was like, yeah. So, I'm gonna either give up some time on the front end of the day, back end of the day. I gotta find my time to get 3 miles in.
Man.
Well, you gave up time.
Yeah.
Which is something that a lot of people aren't willing to give up.
Yeah. I mean, I was in good shape. I ain't gonna lie. It didn't take me a long time, but it was still a sacrifice to some extent because I sacrificed a comfort zone. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it takes. Come breaking that comfort.
Yeah. So I say that would be a challenge for me. I'll be like, you know what? How about you do something that would benefit you that you don't normally do? I think we should reword things. I think we should kind of do it that way. Yeah. I think that the rewiring may get people on board a little bit more. Because nobody really likes to, like you said, nobody really want to give up anything. So you start dropping stuff that you don't even fool with anyway.
Right.
You ain't drop it. You didn't drop it. Stop it.
You never picked it up.
Yeah.
I am going to give up felines. Done with felines.
You know what? I've just been inspired. I'm not gonna run anymore. I'm giving up running. I'm giving it up. Done.
Yeah, I think that should be the new move. I'm gonna start challenging people. I'm like, nah, how about you do this instead of the sacrifice?
You know what's gonna happen when you start doing that?
What's that?
Your circle's gonna get so much smaller.
Well, I've already done that, but
that goes back to the coach's corner point of the day.
Yeah.
Coach's corner point of the day. You are very similar to your 5 closest people that you spend the most time with.
absolutely.
The cool thing about that, which I think is very unique, you can choose your future by deciding who you spend time with today.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can make a concerted effort to make things better for yourself if you get out of the circle that you're in.
And you know what? For some people, that's gonna be a sacrifice. Because you got certain friends that you don't want to let go. You need to, but you don't want to let go. And you really have to in order to get where you're trying to go.
It's funny because you said something earlier, making a comparison of what you're going through is just a season, right?
Yeah.
We're in having church right now. But you said something about, again, what you're going through is just a season, right? Understand that, like, people in your life are also sometimes seasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may be a long season, but it's still a season.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was a long season. Still a season, though, right?
Yeah.
Season for a reason.
Exactly. And that's what people need to understand. Like, there is a reason that certain people are in your life. They may provide some kind of something for you. And your job as a human being is to find that little nugget that each person has that you need to help you progress and grow forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And be okay with that, you know? There are some disastrous splits or ends or, you know, terminations of friendships, relationships, whatever, but there are also some good ones too. Like, hey, you know, I'm going this way, you're going that way. I wish
people grow from it.
You grow from it. I wish you nothing but love and peace. Like, hey, we'll chop it up at some point. We'll circle back, but it's okay to go in separate directions and not have to fall out or not have to be mad or anything like that. Like, there's some jobs that when you leave, it's all love because I'm just heading in a different direction.
Yep.
100.
Man, so many people don't understand that though. I think everybody think of any type of divide or into something is always got to be a mess. Like, and that's not the case at all.
Absolutely.
It's like a mutual agreement, a mutual understanding.
Yeah.
That, you know, this is best for now. This, you know, this has come to its end, or it might be a timeout. Heck,
Yeah.
Right.
it may not be the end of the game.
Right.
Okay. I think the other thing too, and again, we can probably, again, like I said before, we can branch off this like so much. But again, I think that goes back to ultimately just, again, those seasons, right? Everybody's in your life for a reason.
Yeah.
I think this was a good pod.
Yes, sir.
I feel inspired right now.
Well,
Guess what, guys? I'm gonna tell you how inspired I feel.
You want me to call? You want me to wake you up at 3:00 tomorrow?
Oh, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. If my team doesn't call me at 3:00 in the morning, I'll probably already be up anyway. But I'm so inspired right now. I'm gonna go lift a weight.
Hey.
A paperweight.
Hey, bro, every little bit counts. We learned this. We learned this on the football field, right?
That's true. That's true. Life's a game of inches.
100%, bro. So we learned on the football field. Again, if you like what you heard from your positivity partners, please like and subscribe if you want to hear more. Since we have Coach Washington on the line, you want to drop a couple of our plugs, sir?
Man, definitely go get the gear. It's beautiful. I'm actually wearing a polo right now. Feels so good on my skin. Go to Coach Whit.
That ain't out, right? That's not out. That's only out for you, right?
That's out for me. Actually, I'm going to be adding it to the site later this week.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
Get your wallets out, ladies.
Get your wallets out.
Get your wallets out.
CoachLifewear.com. That's where WEAR.com for your merchandise. Any customized merch you want, email me at coachlifewear@gmail.com. Follow me on IG, at Coach Lifewear. And yeah, I'll be posting, sharing updates. We'll have a pod talking about wearing many hats. You'll see a little bit of me sharing my artistic side as a music producer too, with some of that promo. So yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. Anything closing? Let's go closing remarks really quick. Coach Washington, we got you on the pod right now. Any closing remarks, sir?
Man, we always got to end with some type of enlightenment. I say just to kind of piggyback on this conversation that we've been having, learn to push yourself and go to new spaces and places that you haven't went to for the better though. Let me be very specific. Make sure
We're leading everybody straight now.
Yeah, let's make sure that we continue to focus on balance in our life. And if you feel like you are in your worst spot or place, it's not the end. You got another day. As long as you got breath in you, you can change things. You can grow through what you go through. That's how I'm gonna sum that up. Grow through what you go through. Like Coach Steve said, find the nuggets in the season.
There you go. All right, Coach Ryan.
Man, just find some motivation and let that motivation create discipline for you.
Love it.
Yeah, man, that's it.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm definitely going to be using that on my next team meeting because I think that's super inspiring. And again, that keeps everybody motivated.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, that will do it for, again, your positivity partners. Until the next time, stay positive, my friends.
Peace.